Frodo has been gravely injured in the attack at Weathertop and will perish if his companions can't bring him to Rivendell in time. Strider leads the hobbits towards the hidden valley, anxiously listening for the sound of black riders. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Line Unbroken, my progression style playthrough series of Lord of the Rings, the card game. I'm playing the Nightmare version of Flight to the Fort, the third quest in the Lord of the Rings Saga campaign. So, both of these opening hands are pretty good. Immediate Steward of Gondor is nice. Noiseless Movement could be handy to have right at the start. Secret Paths is good. And over here, Test of Will, Arwen, and Gandalf's Staff. All great. So, from the Nightmare card here, the players cannot win while Fort of Bruinen is in play. That's it. There is this response. After an enemy is declared as an attacker, shuffle the top card of the burden deck into the encounter deck to cancel that attack. I hopefully will not have to use that. So, set up, shuffle each burden card from the Fight to the Fort burden set into a burden deck, attach an evil wound to the ring bearer, set Fort of Bruinen and the Witch King aside out of play, add the last bridge and one fell rider per player to the staging area, set the ring bearer's life at 15, shuffle the encounter deck. So, okay. An evil wound. I'm just going to put 15 damage tokens on it and count down like that. I still have Mr. Underhill. And obviously we have the One Ring here. Haldir is a valiant warrior, so he's 4 attack right from the start. Gandalf is a skilled healer, so he has 7 hit points. And what was it? The last bridge and 1 fell rider per player. We have different Nightmare fell riders. The other fell riders should be in the encounter deck. So let's just shuffle those in. The burden deck is here. And, I mean, I suppose let's just make sure that the burden deck is definitely shuffled. So, Fell Riders can't have non-mobile attachments. After Fell Rider attacks and destroys a character, reduce the ring bearer's life by 1. And, of course, they have an engagement cost of 30, so I will have to deal with them straight away. Oh yeah, having a feint in my opening hand is also really nice. So, yeah, okay. The road runs along the edge of the hills for many miles from the bridge to the Fort of Bruinen, but I have not yet thought how we shall cross that water. One river at a time. We shall be fortunate indeed if we do not find the last bridge held against us. The players cannot advance unless the last bridge is in the victory display. Forced at the end of the round, reduce the ring bearer's life by 1. So, okay, Control N. Last bridge is still the same. It's immune to player card effects, which is a bit unfortunate with regards to my secret paths. But never mind. Okay, so Elrond's Council is nice. I want Gandalf's Staff right away. Basically, I think I have to just do this for Gandalf's Staff. And then, okay, so I could put a resource onto Frodo in case I want to use his ability. I could put a resource onto Balin so that I could immediately play Steward of Gondor. If I decided I wasn't so worried about the Test of Will, I could put a resource on Galadriel and immediately play Arwen. A bit of extra willpower and getting Denethor set up as a defender that bit sooner. That might be the way to go. But I don't know, because immediate Steward of Gondor is also very significant. Though I have nothing... Well, I have Faramir, but I don't have much to play with the extra resources, and obviously I can get it next round. So yeah, I drew a Burning Brand here. which I'm probably not going to play yet. I think that was the wrong button. There we go. So yes, F7 is the one I wanted. And yeah, let's just play Arwen right away. She will not exhaust the quest this round, so Denethor will not be boosted this round. That's fine. Over here, yeah, I could play the Burning Brand, but I think it's better to save resources for events. So, X is the number of players in the game. So, 2, 5, 8. I am going to immediately play the Alliance Council. And okay, Gondorian Shield. That may be useful. So, that's questing for 1, 3, 5, 7. I need Haldir ready. And so this is an annoying thing. If I hadn't had other good things in my hands, I would have considered mulliganing, because really I want just a little bit of extra attack, because Bjorn is 5, Haldir is 4, which is not quite enough to take out a Fell Rider. So I guess I could quest with Gandalf and not with Frodo, because Frodo is 1 willpower, he's 1 attack, and he's less willpower than Gandalf. And that way I'm questing for about as much as I can feasibly, while still being able to immediately take out a Fell Rider. So that would be 3, 4 from the Alliance Council, 6, 8. Not particularly good. That's just equaling the threat in the staging area. But you know, I can deal with a little bit of extra threat if I can get the board state a bit more under control. So, okay, a Ring Wraith. I did just lower my threat with Elrond's Council, so I don't necessarily have to engage it. Of course, there's nothing I can do about it anyway. But okay, Ring Wraith and Parent Their Terror. Okay, that's great. So each ally gets -1 willpower until the end of the round. Deal 2 damage to each ally with 0 willpower. I only have 1 ally, so I just lose 1 willpower. Pretty gentle start, all things considered. I have lost the quest by 4. And since the last bridge is immune to player card effects, the only thing I could do about it would be to sneak attack Faramir and exhaust him to get an extra 2 points of willpower. And then I wouldn't have to engage the Ring Wraith. On the other hand, I have Noiseless Movement in my hand, which means I already potentially don't have to engage the Ring Wraith. Oh yeah, of course, the Ring Wraiths. The Ring Wraiths only have a combined 9 defense and hit points. So they are already within reach of Bjorn and Haldir. But I held back Frodo specifically for this reason, so yeah, so I can Noiseless Movement Ring Wraith and just engage these 2. I do really want to engage 2 enemies, because it's just a matter of getting threat out of the staging area. So, even if I can only kill 1 of them. On the other hand, keeping my threat down... Oh, but I want to play Steward of Gondor next round. I do have Gandalf's Staff to facilitate that. I think I'll just let it go. 4 points of threat on each side, but under the circumstances, I don't think I can really justify travelling to the last bridge. because the burden deck has some potentially nasty effects in it, and I would rather avoid them. So I will engage both of these. I optionally engage one, and the other will naturally engage. And I play Noiseless Movement on the Ring Wraith. Choose an enemy in the staging area. That enemy does not make engagement checks this round. Then if your threat is 20 or less, it's not. But that's fine. So I will use Mr. Underhill to cancel an attack, and I will play a Feint to cancel the other attack. Then I can attack for 10, take out one Fell Rider. And I can obviously use the abilities of Galadriel and Denethor. So Denethor, Great East Road, X is 1 plus the number of Nazgul enemies in play, so that would be 3 threat. But it's not immune to player card effects, and I have Secret Paths. And I could just immediately travel there. So I think that's a reasonable thing to just leave on top of the deck. Now, Galadriel's ability. It would be good to get this deck's threat down, I suppose, but also, I mean, the same goes for this deck's threat. This deck has higher threat. As far as the card draw goes, there's useful stuff in both decks. But this deck will have more resources to play its stuff. On the other hand, this deck has more willpower, which could be relevant. I will be playing the Gondorian Shield, obviously, next round. So Denethor will be set up as a defender. And also that means that Bjorn will not have a spare resource to play a bow onto Haldir if I wanted to do that. Whereas this deck would have a spare resource to play Dunedain Mark if I could find one. But also, I still have the Ring Wraith to deal with, as well as the Fell Rider and the Ring Wraith. I don't need an extra attack boost, so okay, I'll Galadriel this one. Discard the Shadow card. Frodo, that was supposed to select the One Ring as well. Frodo across the table, let's just drag a bit further over here, and in fact I'm going to put an Evil Wound here, right in the middle. Reduce the Ringbearer's life by 1, Control N. And okay, so I can boost Haldir's attack because it's come up on top of my deck. So Gandalf can play it. First, obviously, Steward of Gondor. And get the resources back. I have the option of sneak attacking Elrond. I'm not going to hardcast Elrond for sure, so I think definitely play the Burning Brand. Still have a resource for Secret Paths. Over here, I will put the bow onto Haldir. So he now attacks for 6 at ranged. And shield onto Denethor. So he's getting nicely set up. He will have the Arwen boost. So he'll be defending for 6 and he can cancel shadow effects. That's good. Yeah, I think that's basically it. So, 5 threat in the staging area. I know that the first card revealed is going to be a 3 threat location. I suppose it could be 4 threat if the second card is then another Nazgul. Let's see, I can quest for 2, 4, 6, 9. I have the secret paths available. I have a test of will, of course. But do I want to sneak attack Elrond for an extra 3 willpower to be on the safe side? Or do I want to maybe save that for some other occasion when it might be more important and when I might get more out of his enters play effects? Though, I don't know. I mean, obviously I have 2 more sneak attacks and I can hardcast him to still get those effects if they're relevant. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be up against 8 threat, plus 1 more card. I can cancel 3, or I could have the extra 3 willpower. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this. So I sneak attack Elrond, and for his enters play effect, obviously, each player draws 1 card. King Under the Mountain, it's a very good card to draw. And okay, I've found Bilbo on top of my deck, so now I'm questing for 12. And we reveal Great East Road, and each engaged enemy makes an immediate attack. I mean, I think it's best if I cancel that. Again, it's a case of getting the board state under control. So, okay, 12 against 8. I make 4 progress. Elrond will return to my hand. And I travel to the Great East Road. Now I don't have any more means of keeping the Ring Wraith in the staging area, but that's okay. Deal shadow cards. So, obviously Denethor will defend one of them. It may as well be the Ring Wraith. And obviously I can cancel the shadow effect. So now, something I could do is I could just discard the shadow card with Gandalf's staff and then take it undefended. Gandalf has the hit points. I have Elrond for healing. You know, that could be a solid option. Saving Bjorn's hit points. On the other hand, I could use Gandalf's staff for other things, like getting resources. And again, hitting the wrong. Okay, so yeah, just add a resource to Galadriel. And yeah, I guess I'll defend with Bjorn. So that's fine. Use Galadriel. Treebeard. And so Bjorn and Haldir attack for a total of 11. I guess the Ring Wraith is weaker, so in terms of ability to kill it, so take out the Fell Rider first. And that'll be it for the round. Control N. Remove token from this. Frodo crosses the table. Okay, so Shadowfax could definitely be a good play. I want Bilbo. Oh, but if I'm playing Shadowfax, it's on top of my deck, so I have to do it first. I don't have any other tactics cards to be dealing with, so I can spend Bjorn's resource on that and still have a resource on Frodo. Okay, there's a greeting, which I'm going to shuffle away. But now things are fairly under control, I would say. Where is it? Wizard Pipe. Yeah, things are fairly under control. Ooh, that would be nice. Because I have decent willpower. There's only 2 threat in the staging area at this point. So I'm pretty well in control on the questing front. If I don't get another enemy, then I can have the board clear of enemies. If I do, then I'll cope. I have means of doing that. Okay, Dunedain Mark as well. That would get Haldir up to 7 attack at ranged. Pretty good. Get King under the Mountain in first. Space out the heroes a little because lots of attachments. Sneak attack and Lembus. Keep the sneak attack, but it's not as urgent that I use it in this instance. And yeah, I will stick a Dunedain Mark onto Haldir. So, as I said, 2 threat in the staging area. I quest for 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Everything is looking pretty good. Okay. Surge attaches to this Ring Wraith. 6 attack, cannot take non-combat damage. Sure, whatever. Ettendales. Okay, that's quite a bit of threat. I do still have a Secret Paths, of course. And when it's explored, shuffle the top card of the burden deck into the encounter deck. That's very annoying. So I guess I would rather never travel to that. And each ally gets -1 willpower. Deal 2 damage to each ally with 0. So that's just -2 willpower. I making 4 progress. Yeah, I think in the circumstances this has to be the time for Secret Paths to cut out that 5 threat. So I make 9 progress. 5 here and 4 more here. And now I think is the time to go to the last bridge. Try and keep things clear. I have to do it at some point, obviously. So, Eaten Alive. The first player must deal X damage divided among heroes he controls, where X is the number of players in the game. So, just 2. And I could do Galadriel or Gandalf. Gandalf is potentially able to take undefended attacks. He's also potentially able to take defenses, which would deal damage to him. And yeah, I guess I'll just put the 2 damage onto Gandalf. And of course it surges. Pale Blade, well, they're limit 1 per enemy, so that's just another surge. Trollshaw Forest, while it's in the staging area, gains forced after when revealed effect is cancelled, reduce the ring bearer's life by 1. And the travel cost is to reduce the ring bearer's life by 1. Okay, this is all fine. Denethor defends against this ring wraith. I will cancel that shadow effect. And now we can attack for 5, 8, 15. Take out the ring wraith. So now my only real concern is willpower, at least for the moment. Control N. Okay, Calabrian Stone does give me a bit more willpower. And Fellowship of the Ring gives me even more. That is worth discarding a sneak attack. So, Fellowship of the Ring. 1 willpower to all heroes, except Beyond, because he's immune. And Calabrian Stone goes on Frodo. So there we go. Willpower should be pretty well sorted. Let's play the Wizard Pipe. And then I guess that's it. I might want to use Frodo's ability, I suppose, so I think it's worth using Gandalf's staff to give him a resource. So, there is 8 threat in the staging area. My quest for 5, 8, 11, 13, 15, 19. I could do another sneak attack Elrond for even more. Or I suppose I could actually, I have the resources, I could have just hard cast Elrond and then I would have the option of a sneak attack Faramir. Actually, I think I would rather do that. So, yeah, we'll go back to this, and Gandalf only has 2 damage. And my defenses are somewhat set up. I think I would rather take the draw. Okay. And I'm going to Wizard Pipe the Test of Will back onto the top of my deck. Unfortunately, obviously having drawn the Gildor's Council, I cannot afford to play it. But next round. And so Elrond is questing. So that's an extra 3 willpower. 22 against 8. And we reveal, come back, Peril, Doomed 1. Reduce the ring bearer's life by 1 and remove all progress from the current quest. Well, no, actually I can do something about the Doomed. I could use Frodo's ability. 8 progress would be quite a bit to remove from the current quest, though, I mean, in principle, I'm in a rush, but 12 is a fair bit, well, 11 if I let the treachery resolve. I can potentially afford to lose a bit of time. So I think I am just going to let that happen. Doomed 1. Reduce the ring bearer's life and unfortunately remove all progress. And there are no Nazgul in play, so that's just Surge and nothing. Okay. So obviously I don't want to put a Nazgul into play engaged with the first player, because this deck is the first player. At the moment I haven't added any threat to the staging area. If I add a Nazgul, they're all 3 threat. I think. The ones in the encounter deck. So that would be 11, I would make 11 progress. Rather than the 14 I'm currently making. Which with a sneak attack Faramir could be 18. Which would still not be enough to advance the quest, unless I also Dwarven Tomb to Nelron's Council, which I could do if I want to just immediately advance. I think... remind me what happens when I advance the quest. Brunnen, Witch King. Yeah, that's not too big a problem. So, yeah, okay. Gandalf can play the Test of Will from the top of my deck, cancelling this. Then I play Sneak Attack to put Faramir into play. Exhaust him targeting this deck, so that's an extra 1, 2, 3, 4 points of willpower added to my questing. And then Dwarven Tomb to grab Elrond's Council from my discard pile, and then play it. -3 threat and +1 willpower. So, 27 willpower against 8 threat. I make 19 progress. 4 here. And 15 here. Which is enough to advance the quest. So, who cares about having removed all the progress from before? Black horses leaped down the hill in pursuit, and from the riders came a terrible cry, such as Frodo had heard filling the woods with horror in the East Farthing far away. It was answered, and to the dismay of Frodo and his friends, out from the trees and rocks away on the left, 4 other riders came flying. 2 rode towards Frodo, 2 galloped madly towards the fort to cut off his escape. When revealed, add Ford the Brunnen and the Witch King to the staging area, while at least 1 Nazgul enemy is in play. Race to Rivendell and gets +15 quest points. Forced at the end of the round, reduce the Ringbearer's life by 1. If the players defeat this stage, they have won the game. So the Ford of Brunnen, Nightmare version. Immune to player card effects. Travel cost, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Nazgul enemy, and it puts it into play. Engaged with him, shuffle the encounter deck. It is something I feel is a little unfortunate that in the transition to Nightmare you lose the very thematic nature of the standard difficulty Ford of Brunnen, where you can use it to get rid of all the Nazgul. Though obviously, in the spirit of making things more difficult, it kind of makes sense. And the Witch King. So... okay, Faramir comes back to my hand, and there's nothing to stop me just dealing with the Witch King immediately. If I go to the Fort of Brunnen, then I will have more problems, because I'll have those 2 extra Nazgul to deal with. So I think instead I should just go to the Trollshaw Forest, which, travel cost, I have to reduce the Ringbearer's life by 1, that's fine. And now this deck will just engage the Witch King. Denethor defends, and, well, I don't need to cancel that shadow effect, because obviously this does not destroy a character. And now we attack 4, 5, 8, what was it, 4, 6, 7, 15, which is just slightly more than enough to take out the Witch King. Exhaust Galadriel. This deck is running a little short on cards. Lembas, okay. At the end of the round I will have to discard Elrond, reduce the Ring Bearer's life by 1, Control N. And Frodo is back over here. More Lembas. And, well, obviously, I discard the Steward of Gondor, and then I'll play the Daeron's Runes. More Gildor's Council. It's very nice. And another Daeron's Runes. And I can discard the extra Burning Brand. Okay. So, Treebeard. Yeah, I mean, other than Dwarven Tomb, Treebeard is the only thing in my hand worth playing. Or, in fact, the only thing in my hand that's not already in play. So let's put Treebeard on top of my deck for greater efficiency. 1, 2, 3. I think I'd rather run Frodo out of resources than Galadriel, because now I could Dwarven Tomb a Test of Will, and then use Gandalf's Staff to get a resource back onto Galadriel. I'm just going to use Galadriel's ability now. Ooh, Elrond's Council. And yeah, I think Gandalf's Staff to get a resource, and play Dwarven Tomb to get back a Test of Will. And okay, so here I'm going to be playing Gildor's Council, and I think it's a good idea to just get Faramir into play. So, questing for 5, 9, 11, 13, 16, 19. Against, it is still 8th threat in the staging area. And, oh, sorry, and of course Gildor's Council. And also Elrond's Council. So in fact 20 willpower, and this is the only card I will be revealing. Doomed to attach the Ring Bearer, limit 1 hero cancels condition attachment with the text forced at the beginning of the planning phase, either exhaust the 1 ring or reduce the Ring Bearer's life by 1. Okay, I could cancel this. I don't think I need to, though. So I'll just attach it. Doesn't add any threat to the staging area. So I'm still questing for 20 against 8. So I make 12 progress. 5 here. Wait, did I cancel something while that was in the staging area? When did I cancel the piercing cry? It was, yes, it was when I advanced. So Yes, so, right. 5 progress there and 7 on the quest. But I can exhaust Faramir for an extra 1, 2, 3, 4 points of willpower. Making it 11 on the quest. And I guess at this point I really have to do the Fort of Brunnen. So, unfortunately this switches off Haldir's ability, but I am sure I can cope. So, only 3 Nazgul actually left in the encounter deck. So yeah, probably best to take them from there so I can then be reasonably confident I won't be revealing more, although of course there's piercing cry in there. Okay. So shadow cards on these. And yeah, okay, so I guess I defend with Bjorn. And I defend with Denethor. And I cancel the shadow effect. Now, Gandalf is ranged thanks to Shadowfax. So 7, 10 takes out the Ringwraith, and well, I guess wrong order. It should have been Bjorn first, dealing 1 damage to this Ringwraith, leaving it needing 8 attack to get rid of, which unfortunately Haldir is not yet. But there's a chance he could get there. Scarred Shadow card. Remove 1 life from the Ring Bearer. So yeah, so now I just need to explore the Fort of Brunnen. And yeah, it's plus 15 quest points while at least 1 Nazgul is in play. So, unless I quest for a ridiculously large amount, I need to kill this Ringwraith. Though questing for a ridiculously large amount is not out of the question. This triggers at the end of the planning phase. Oh no, the beginning of the planning phase. Either exhaust the Wandering or I'm going to reduce the Ring Bearer's life by 1. Because I could have use of Frodo's ability. King Under the Mountain. Okay, there's a Parting Gifts, so I can throw some extra resources around. At the very least, I do want to be able to play Gildor's Council again. Maybe also being able to play the Lembas. If I'm thinking that I might just win the game. So let's just keep drawing. Right. So yeah, let's just Parting Gifts, 2 resources. Over to Law. Play the Lembas onto Gandalf. And over here, so I could play the Gondorian Shield. I'm honestly tempted to play the Mirror. It would be risking my Test of Will, though. But no, I shouldn't risk the Test of Will. It's safer this way. I'm kind of hoping maybe I could pick out another bow, get how they're up to the point where he can take out the Ring Wraith, but I can very safely defend the Ring Wraith. Whereas the Test of Will could be very significant, depending on what I reveal. So in light of that, I guess I will swap the shield back onto the top of my deck and play it onto Gandalf. Oh, finally found Nenya. Okay, so 5 threat in the staging area. I play Gildor's Council. And quest 5, 8, 11, 13, 15, 17, 21. Should be plenty. And we reveal Trollshell Forest. Okay. So, 13 progress. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 17 progress. Oh, you know what, I'm just gonna wreck on this. I should have played the Mirror, but not used it. Okay, yes, so 17 progress. Only up to 25 progress. I would have needed 5 more to win without actually dealing with the Ring Wraith. But, that's fine. I do not need to travel at this juncture. Let's use the Mirror at this point. There's no way I can get enough resources to play a Greeting. So I guess I'll just take a Dwarven Tomb. Shuffle. Random discard. And then Dwarven Tomb for an Elrond's Council. Let's drop my threat. By another 3, which also one more progress. Okay. Denethor defends. No shadow effect. He takes no damage. I will discard Lembas to heal Gandalf. And then attack for 3, 8. 15. Taking out the Ring Wraith. So now, since there is not one Nazgul enemy in play, the extra 15 quest points go away, so I have 26 progress out of 15. And I win. Also because the For the Brunnen isn't in play. That being the other thing. So yeah. That was all fine. And of course campaign resolution is still the same. Add each burden card in play in the encounter deck and in the discard pile to the campaign pool. The added cards have been earned by the players, so that's just Eternal Hive. Which I should be able to cope with. Where is it? Yeah. You know, it's just a treachery that forces the first player to take 2 damage somewhere. The shadow effect could be annoying. But yeah, so that's the end of the first box of Saga Campaign Nightmare. Next up, I think I'm going to go through all of the Nightmare Ringmaker stuff before moving on to Nightmare Road Darkens, because that's kind of how the sequence of releases fell out. But this is going well. Nightmare Campaign has reached Rivendell in very good shape. So, if you enjoyed this, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you